Hello, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, comrades on YouTube, to my family, huh? And the love of my life. Hello, my darling. My darling. How are you, darling? I hope you're well. So, our grandbaby, the youngest one, Hayden, our baby, she sent a video from her mother, and she had seen my previous video, and she thought it was absolutely hilarious that Great Grandma Mickey went to the wrong truck. And she said in that video that if I was there, Grandpa, I would have laughed. So I thought that was adorable. And so what she did was she posed a question in the video asking if Grandma Blue has ever done that. Great Grandma Blue. That's Robin's mother. And I'm sorry to say no. Nope. Great Grandma Mickey has exclusive honors to going to the wrong rig. So, there's your answer, Miss Hayden. No, Grandma Blue. Yes, Grandma Mickey. Okay? Oh, man, that cracked me up. Anyway, I've got a slew of notes, all right? I'm going to buzz through them. And I'll tell you what I'm doing with Leonard's Express. Besides having a ball, I'm getting some running in, baby. You already know about my trip to Texas. Got some time with my folks and some other family, my nephews and their loves and all kinds of stuff, and dinners and lunches, and it was great. I got a set of boots. Lovely set of boots, hey? These things are beauts, eh? It's a set of Justins. They're the work boot type. You know what I mean? Oh, man. These things are like slippies. I don't even know they're on. And I went inside. I had to ask the lady. I said, so that night, I wore them right out of the store. We were in the store about 15 minutes, my mother and me. We're in the store about 15 minutes. I told her what I wanted, and I said I need a set of boots. She's like, okay, cool. We got about, I don't know, 10 miles from the truck stop. Maybe 15, maybe. And, oh, here's a boot store right here. Want to go check it out? I'm like, yeah, I sure do. It was in Justin, Texas. And I got some Justins in Justin, Texas. Pure coincidence, but nonetheless. Well, that night, like I said, I wore them out of the store. That night, I went to go take them off. No, that was a chore. So we went back to that store a couple of days later, and I didn't leave the truck that long. Don't trip. I went right back into that store because I knew what I needed. And as soon as I walked in, the gal asked, what can we do to help you? And I said, well, I don't know what it's called. I'm sure it's got a name to it. But I need a boot taker offer. She goes, you need a jack. I said, I need a jack. Yes, I do. Kick down. Oh, yeah. This is like gold to a cowboy boot wearer. Yes, I said it. Cowboy boot. Somebody challenged me on that. Yeah, this is it. All right. I would have said something else at home, but since I'm on here and a lot of people are watching that don't like profanity, I'll keep it clean. This is it. This is called a jack, not a boot taker offer. I don't know. So anyway, got that. That is a dandy unit. If you ever have cowboy boots, if you have any in the closet, you need a jack. 10-4, roger that. So I left Irving, Texas, went back up to Rome, where I had stayed the previous 2 nights, and maybe 3 nights, whatever it was. Anyway, I wanted to get weighed. I'm about 45 miles from Irving, Texas at that point, at that location. When I left Irving, I thought, man, this thing feels a little heavy, but whatever, we'll just roll with it. First time I've ever had a problem in the Wild Blue Yonder setup type truck, which is the old Holman trucks. Mine, as you all know, is blue. I'll throw a picture up here so y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all seen it, but anyway, that's the Wild Blue Yonder. And they're lighter than the Ultralofts 579s. The Ultralofts are considerably heavier, a couple thousand pounds heavier. So to deal with heavy front ends and heavy drives on those trucks is pretty normal, but not on these Holman trucks. These mid-roof Peterbilt 579s like I'm running never have had a problem until that day. That was Saturday, I believe. It was a nightmare. So I get there and my load was like almost 500 pounds over gross, which is 80,000 pounds. So I was almost 500 pounds over. I was over on the drives, I was over on the tandems, and I was over gross. So damn it, what do I do here? So I called Farmington because Caldwell wasn't home. So I called Farmington, and dude at first says, okay, go ahead and take it back to Irving, we'll have it reworked. And I'm like, nope, can't do that, brother, because they're closed. I'm going to get there to a lock gate, and there's no place for me to park. I was the last load out of there on Saturday. They even said, oh man, you're it. Your last load is Saturday, man. We're going home. I don't blame them. So there was no way I was going to do that. I had a spot at Rome, and I told dude, if you need to email me, text me, or call me, do that, because I'm not going to go back to Irving. That's a waste of time. Okay, fair enough. We'll do. Good. Well, while I'm waiting for his response, I'm racking my brain. What do I do? What do I do? So you know what I did is here's the mistake I made. As I said earlier, never had a problem with weight, full tanks, etc. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to fill, while I'm here at Rome and I've got an open fuel pump, I'm going to top everything off. Mistake. Man, was that a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. That adds weight. You know, it's about 8 pounds a gallon. And, you know, with 300 gallons on, you're sporting some weight. I mean, that's, what, 2,400 pounds in just fuel? I just didn't think it was going to be a problem. Well, I learned that it most certainly can be. They said they put 41,000 pounds on me. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I bet I'm closer to 44, being as heavy as I am. This is the heaviest load that I've definitely have taken. So I thought, okay, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set these tandems up so they're legal. I got those to 33,880, I think it was, which still had me at 34, 460 or so, I think, on the drives. And but I was still over gross. But I had a lot of fuel on, and I didn't have a scale until like 400 miles down the road. So I called back to Farmington and I said, hey, I have an idea. I have a plan to try and alleviate this problem and not have to turn around and completely waste a day. I'm going to roll. An overweight ticket is me. That's on me. That's my ticket. And if I roll knowing that I'm overweight, that's not on Leonard's Express. That's on Clyde. So I kind of did a little bit of math, and I'm thinking, you know what? If I can burn off, you know, damn near half of the fuel capacity that I have, then I should be okay. I should be okay. I'm going to burn up some fuel here, and let's see what happens. That's what we decided. Let's roll with it. We slapped high fives over the phone, and I rolled. I went to Vega, Texas. Spent the night at a Flying J there. The next morning, got up, went straight to the scales. It was still a little uneven. So it took me about 5 tries, y'all. I mean, the tenacity here that it takes to make sure you're right, absolutely right. I finally hit it with the tandems where they're at right now at 11.9 on the front, 34.920 on the drives, 34.960 on the tandems, and 79.880, I think it was, overall after burning off some fuel. That was at 5/8 capacity. So I rolled, baby. Ended up rolling into Colorado later that day. And at the port of entry in Colorado, their scale is not the whole length of the truck. It's a little itty bitty scale. So you drive on, you put your front tires on, they weigh that axle. That was at 11.9. Then I roll forward. I put the drives on. That was at 33.9. And then I roll forward for the rear tandems, put those on the little bitty scale. You got to stop each time. 33.9. Let's go, bud. Let's go. So we rolled. We rolled from there, and I rolled into Laramie, Wyoming last night, and actually stayed at a Resteria just east of Laramie, along I-80. And at that time, I was still a little unsure. Was I taking this load to Spokane Valley, or am I going to Caldwell? Typically, when I'm bringing something back west like that that's going to Washington or Oregon, I drop it in Caldwell. Well, I'm glad I asked. So I hit up my DA, my driver advocate, Brother Damon, via email this morning. I sent him a message on our Qualcomm, and I said, so just for confirmation, am I going to Caldwell or what? He says, you're set to deliver Spokane Valley, because it would be way too many miles to come back through Caldwell and have somebody else do it. I'm like, okay. Whew. I wasn't planning on that. I'm going to have to rework some stuff here, but I got it. So what I did was, and I wrote this down, and I'm going to explain it. It's pretty cool, because when I left Laramie, I left the Resteria, and I went to the truck stop. I took a shower, and that's it. I took a shower. Then I got back in the truck, and I rolled. And I knew that I wasn't going to Caldwell now. So how am I going to go? Check this out. I went from Laramie, Wyoming to just west of Billings, Montana, which is at I-90. I didn't go into Billings. I was just west of it. And I never, until I got to I-90, I never touched an interstate. It was all U.S. highways or state highways that I took from Laramie all the way up into Montana. And I wrote it down because I think this is so cool. Maybe you want to try and follow it on your atlas at home. All right. So I went US 287 to Wyoming Highway 487 to Wyoming Highway 220 up into Casper, where I picked up the 2026. They run concurrently, and the 2026 then takes a split. I took the US 20 into Thermopolis, Wyoming, went right through it, saw Thermopolis hardware, and by the way, Chick Magnet Navigation Systems and Services has some roots in Thermopolis and Wyoming in general. Took the 20 to the Wyoming 120, took that over the border into Montana, where it turned into the Montana 72 to the US 310, and that eventually took me up into Interstate 90, where I drove to where I am now at I drove 595 miles today. I have 385 miles to go. 67 miles from here to Post Falls, Idaho, which is where I'm going to go. That's a little bit west of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And that is only about 20 miles for my delivery. So we're dialed in. I've got all day tomorrow to get that. So I'm leaving at 6 a.m. Probably going to be a 6.5 to 7 hour drive to Post Falls, which then puts me, 12:30, 1:30. Should easily find a parking space at that time. I'm getting pretty sick of that. The PM shift, good luck finding a parking place anytime after 5 p.m. anywhere in this country. So by getting there, in early afternoon, I should easily find a spot, which then also makes it easy for me to leave early enough to deliver at 6 a.m. at the distribution center in Spokane Valley with my load of pop, as my family in PA would say. So, wow, what a trip. Oh wow, what a trip. I'm really tripping out. It was a great trip, actually. We had no worries. Again, when you don't have weather, you can hammer down 595 in today. You know what I mean? Another good day. And won't have as many tomorrow. And then, of course, I'll have an unload tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but the next day I'll have an unload. The short run tomorrow at less than 400 miles. Wonderful. I'm ready for that. So I can chill for a minute and get a little bit of a break in. That'll be nice. And then, plus I'll be in a really cool spot, man. Really close to Coeur d'Alene. Shoot, I might just buy a chair and sit out in front of my truck and suck up some nice, beautiful, fresh Idaho air way up in the north, where I am now, off of the I-90 in Belgrade, Montana. So, yeah, looking forward to that. But then, the next day is a 6 a.m. delivery. And, those can go quickly or those can take forever. It's a live unload. You just never know. I got loaded very quickly in Irving. They wanted out of there. And when I'm going to tell you, I've noticed something. You get there at the end of their shift, oh, baby, you're the first one to get out. They want you out. You know what I mean? Because they want to go home. So that's how that worked out in Irving as well, man. Get out of here. We want you gone. So I'll be the first load of the day, most likely, in Spokane Valley, or one of the first. So everybody's just going to be starting to wake up with a cup of joe. So anyway, I'm going to be rocking and rolling out of here in Belgrade pretty early in the morning. I want to be on the road by 6 so I can get up to Post Falls at a good time, get a parking spot. You would think, a beautiful place like, I'm pretty close to Bozeman, just west of Bozeman, that it would just be a nice, easy time. But no. Head is a swiveling. Some crackpots out here. I'm telling you, I've seen them already. Okay? I keep my head on a swivel. I hope y'all do too. Y'all do know who love you. You know. It's your boy. It's Clydesdale. I'm running Leonard's Express in this beautiful mid-roof 579 Peterbilt. And I am going to be rolling into Post Falls tomorrow to deliver the next day. Y'all have a great one. Peace!